Mr. Pratt?
Yes.
Come in. Well, take your coat.
Oh, thank you.
Didn't know exactly when to expect you. Your brother's in the laboratory.
I haven't been this cold in 15 years. Wow. This Maine coast is something else again.
We like it. I'll tell Dr. Pratt you're here.
Oh, no. Look, don't announce me. I'll just walk into the Mad Doctor's lab and surprise him, okay? Is that it? Thank you. Thank you. Luke.
Ollie. Ollie.
Luke.
Oh, reprobate.
Oh, you.
Oh, boy, am I glad to see you.
Let me look at you. How's it going, kid? You've had a rough go, huh?
It's not been too good, Ollie. Well, now what do you think of my little private family, huh?
Well, it scared the hell out of me.
Yeah, they're a hard-headed bunch, I'll admit, but they're all I've got. You realize it's been 10 years since we last saw each other, Ollie? At my wedding. Well, what do you think of my little setup here?
Well, it's not like the one you had when you were a kid, huh?
You paid for that, Ollie. You paid for everything. My education, medical school, study in England. You know something? It's about time I paid you back.
Oh, come on, will you?
Well, what do you think of this place?
Well, it's just like you described it in all those letters. But let me tell you something, Lukey boy. All that technical stuff about, what do you call it?
Craniology.
Craniology. I didn't understand a word. But it sounded like you were making some real progress. Are you?
Well, I think so.
Good.
Come on, I'll pour you a drink.
Well, now you're talking my language. Lead the way. Oh, Luke.
Well, how is life in the jungle?
Needless to say, I'm still not married. I get lots of action, but I'm still not in traction.
Oh, you haven't changed a bit. Now, what is it? Bourbon?
A little scotch. Ah, good.
As I remember you, it's 2 fingers, right?
Hello, Ollie.
Well, hello, Helen. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yes, it certainly has. But Luke has spoken of you almost every single day of our marriage.
Would you like a drink?
No, I would not like a drink. Well, Ollie, why don't you tell us all about your South American exploits?
Oh.
Or whatever it is you call them.
Well, I hardly know where to begin. But first, I want to tell you how sorry I am. From what Luke wrote, Alden must have been a sweet kid.
Yes. Yes, he was very sweet. Too sweet for this world, and particularly for this house.
Helen thinks well, it doesn't matter what she thinks. Alden died nearly 3 months ago. I thought I did everything possible for the boy. One never really knows sometimes.
You're damned right you don't know, you incompetent blunderer. You let my...
Well, go ahead, say it. You think I murdered Alden, don't you? Don't you?
What time will you be wanting dinner, Miss Helen?
Oh, I'll let you know, Martha.
Very good, Miss Helen.
As for your son's death, I followed all the standard procedures down to the last detail. I prescribed all the recommended medication. I did everything in the book. At first, he rallied. He seemed almost better. But then he began to slip. I never left that boy's bedside for 5 days and 5 nights.
Except, of course, to get another drink. I'm afraid your brother was drunk almost the entire time.
When his condition became critical, I sent for outside help.
Not for Dr. Brown, you didn't.
I wouldn't let that man treat my dog.
Oh, no, he's only been a practicing physician for 25
Listen,
years.
I did anything that any doctor could.
Oh, did you? Did you really?
Now, listen to me. Both of you. I left a nice apartment in New York and drove nearly 500 miles up here because I thought I could be of some help. Now, as a courtesy to me, let's call time out, huh? Let's just relax and have a few laughs.
A few laughs? You must be joking. My son's dead. The only thing in my life I've ever really cared about.
Helen, may I say something to you? Look, you've got to learn how to relax. Come on, have a drink. It's the best lift in the world. Lou, make her a drink.
Well, I could do with a couple of laughs. Yeah, let me try this one on you, Ollie. There's this long-time married couple, see? And the wife hates the husband's guts. After a while, she decides to get rid of him. But instead of doing it the honest way and simply divorcing him, she very methodically cuts him up into little pieces. First, she doesn't talk to him. Then she doesn't eat with him. And finally, she doesn't sleep with him. But in spite of all this, the husband still loves her. And in the end, she can't wait for him to make up his mind. So she decides to finish him off by putting a couple of drops of poison in his drink. Pretty clever, huh?
No, not really. In spite of your well-known professional competence, poisons in the human body are very easily detected, I believe.
You know, Helen, you're dead right. There are safer ways to knock someone off and leave it to the doctors to figure it out. Why? I remember a case I read about down in South America a few years ago. About a lady doctor, no less, who polished off 3 husbands with melted lead. Huh?
Melted lead?
That's right. She had it all worked out. She'd slip some knockout drops into this poor idiot's drink. Then, when he was out cold, she would stick a little funnel in his ear, melt some lead, and pour it in. Presto. The guys went like that. And you know something? All 3 cases were reported as heart failures by doctors.
Now, wait a minute. If she fooled the doctors, how come the story got out?
Well, she got a little over anxious on her 4th try. The guy woke up with this little funnel sticking in his ear. He called the police. They dug up the bodies.
For God's sake. Can't you talk about anything else?
Come on, wait a minute. I'm always interested in the triumphs and failures of other doctors. What happened then, Ollie?
Well, they sawed open the heads and found a small hunk of lead in each one of them. That was that. The lady doctor was through.
It's remarkable. I mean, it's fantastic.
You know something, Luke? The only mistake the dame made was not chopping off their heads. Why, had she done that, she would have been home free. No head, no lead.
No lead.
I think I'll go upstairs. I'm not really very hungry any longer.
Helen, is there something I can do?
No, Ollie. No, there isn't anything you can do. It's just that I can't stand staying in the same room with the 2 of you any longer. Look at yourselves. The brothers Pratt. A double threat. Why don't you both pack up those damn skulls and go back to South America? I'm sure you'd all be very happy together. Lucas, good night.
Well, you know, kid, they feed you well here. That Martha cooks a damn good meal.
Yeah.
The food at least makes up for the atmosphere.
Oh, come on, let's have some brandy.
No, Luke, I guess I better leave.
What?
Well, I have an appointment in Boston tomorrow. An oil company wants me to go to Saudi Arabia next month to lay in a pipeline.
I thought you were going to spend the night here.
No, I think I better leave under the circumstances.
Oh, come on, Ollie. Change your mind, huh?
Look, I said I'd stay overnight, but I'm not doing any good here. I'm only making it worse.
Now, listen, Helen has her moods like everybody else.
No. I only antagonize. Look, I'll get a room in town and drive into Boston in the morning. Where did you put the coat?
I'll get it.
Luke.
Yeah?
Look. You're young. You're healthy. You've got your MD. Why don't you stop talking to yourself and just try living? Huh? Here, it stopped working out. Why don't you split up?
Ollie, don't you realize that I wouldn't have been able to do any of my research if it wasn't for Helen's money? Well, I loved her once. I really loved her, Ollie. And I think she loved me, but everything I care about is locked up in that lab. I don't know what I'd do if I lost it. It's my home. It's more than that. It's everything I am.
You really loved each other. What happened?
I don't know. I suppose I wanted something else. I wanted to make the great medical breakthrough. I got so wrapped up in my work that I didn't see what I was doing to Helen.
Well, I'm sure you did the best you could.
Well, everything was all right, Ollie, when we were in London. At least we had some kind of life. At least I thought so. Then we moved to this godforsaken place. And everything just went to pieces. I mean, her family's lived here since the year one. Then Alden died. And the bottom really fell out. And, oh, she never stops blaming me. She never stops blaming me, Ollie.
You know, Luke, I thought you'd gone off the deep end tonight when you implied that Helen would like to destroy you. Well, now I'm not so sure. Come on, hang in there, huh?
Okay.
Don't let it get you. And remember, I'll keep in touch.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, Ollie.
Oh. Huh? I'll see you.
Okay.
Well, you two were certainly made for each other, weren't you? Tell me something, Lucas. When you and Ollie were little boys together, what did you do for fun and games? Disembowel alley cats?
He's gone, Helen. You can stop it now.
I'll never stop, Lucas. I'll never stop until you're out of my life. Totally and completely.
You don't mean that. Listen, you and I have been married for almost 10 years now. I know they haven't all been good, but they haven't all exactly been bad.
Why? Because I had enough money to indulge your fantasies.
Fantasies?
Well, what else would you call them? You've already been through most of my money. Money my family worked for. And what have you done for yourself except to get a damn good meal ticket? What discoveries? What wonderful breakthroughs have you found to relieve the suffering of mankind? Or even your own wife and her son, whom you hated because you couldn't produce one of your own.
Shut up, or I'll...
You're what, Lucas? Lucas, what could you possibly do?
All right, I'll leave. But I'll need some time to pack and make other arrangements.
All right. All right, it's settled then, isn't it? I wonder if you'd ask Martha to please bring me my pills. My heart's pounding.
Is it...
Oh, for God's sake, Lucas, get out. Just get out. course, you asked me for a few days. It's already been more than a week.
Well, I have more stuff here than I thought.
If this junk isn't out of my house, by tomorrow morning, I'm going to have the handyman take it away to the city dump.
She stuck a little funnel in his ear, melted down some lead, and poured it in. Presto, they went like that.
Dr. Pratt, commend you for your distinguished work. Await your next effort. May it be soon.
You know something, Luke? I thought you'd gone off the deep end tonight when you implied that Helen would like to destroy you. Well, now I'm not so sure.
Oh, Martha, it's you. What is it?
I thought I'd get the tray and wash up those few things.
Oh.
You were dozing when I came in, so...
Tray, yes, of course. Is it really that late? My clock says just after 10.
That's about right.
Is Mrs. Pratt watching television?
Oh, she decided to skip it tonight and go to bed early. Now, Dr. Pratt, something wrong.
Oh, no, she's not sick, is she? She hasn't been to bed this
She's
early.
not asleep yet. I'm heating up her milk for a brandy nightcap. Gotta go turn it off or it boils over.
Oh, Martha, could you get me some ice cubes, please? Just, thank you. Thank you very much.
Dr. Pratt, you ought to have one of these, Doctor. It might help you sleep.
I did, Martha. I'd never finish packing tonight.
Body has to have some sleep.
I'll catch up later. Go on, get that up to Mrs. Pratt before it gets cold.
Good night, Doctor.
Good night, Martha. Oh, my God.
When she didn't answer, I knew something was wrong. She didn't even stir, so I ran and got you.
I had a feeling last night she might be sick. I should have come in.
But she seemed perfectly all right.
I'll never forgive myself.
Please don't say that, Dr. Pratt. Makes me feel like it was my fault.
You're not expected to know such things, Martha.
Maybe not. But I'll just never get over this.
Why don't you go make some coffee while I... Oh, Martha. Would you... Hello, is Dr. Brown there, please? Yeah, this is Luke Pratt.
Luke. Luke, what exactly happened?
It was a heart. During the night. It was all my fault.
What was your fault?
Well, last night I found some old research papers. I started reading and I got hung up on them. The next thing I know, it's morning and Martha's calling me. If I'd have been in the bedroom with her, Amos, I would have been able to do something.
Luke, you know as well as I do. There are times when
Yes,
there's
well, I
nothing...
don't need a lecture, Amos.
I didn't mean it that way. Luke, I think under the circumstances, maybe it would be best if I made out the death certificate.
Whatever you say.
Because I had treated her for a slight heart condition, but I'd never believed it was that serious.
So when Alden died, she became very tense and very agitated. A couple of weeks ago, we were having one of our rows, and she fainted. Her blood pressure dropped to 50/30, heartbeat arrhythmic. I did an EKG, and it was abnormal.
Why didn't you take her to the hospital?
No, she wouldn't hear of going to the hospital. She said it was nothing more than the heartbeat murmurs she'd been having for years, and she always got over them. By the time I finished the EKG, her blood pressure was back almost to normal.
Luke, I'm sorry. I know you two had been having your bad moments, but I didn't know you were living with that over your head. Pretty strong stuff, these. Don't take these with alcohol or anything may result. Even hallucinations.
Don't worry, Amos. I can handle them. I've been taking them for years.
Yeah. Well, Luke, is there anything I can do?
I don't know. Martha can handle all the arrangements.
I'll do that. After all, I have known Helen since she was a little girl.
Yes, well, I'd appreciate that, Amos.
I suppose you'll be wanting a private service in the chapel, or here.
Well, she'll be buried in the family crypt on the grounds. Helen loved this house. Yes, here would be best.
Try to get a little rest, Luke. And easy on those pills, huh?
Thank you for your help with the funeral, Martha. couldn't have managed without it.
Care for your dinner now?
No, I couldn't eat a thing. Thank you.
Then I'll say good night. It's been a long day.
Yes, good night, Martha.
Good night, Dr. Pratt.
They sawed open the heads and found a small hunk of lead in every one of them.
Come off it, Martha. You're making me nervous. I don't like to work in a place that's too clean and neat.
You'll mess it up again soon enough, I'm sure. When are you going to unpack those boxes? I know, next week. That's what you said last week, and the week before that.
And the week before that.
And the week before that.
Yeah, and the week before that. In a minute, Martha. Shut up. Will you shut up? All right. I'll shut you up. Oh, Martha, I'll have dinner now. Sorry to have kept you waiting.
What is it?
Well, it's nothing, Martha. Something fell down. answer to you, my friend. Oh, those games of yours. I could handle you when you're alive, so I don't think I can't manage it now you're dead. You with your little games. Little stupid games. Stupid.
Huh? Leaving already?
I got to fix Jessup's roof before it starts raining again. Why?
The way he's been carrying on the past 3 months, I'm afraid to stay alone with him in the house.
Mrs. Jessup's looking for some live-in help.
Well, I couldn't walk out on him. He can't manage on his own.
Why don't I send the missus round? Sarah's working in hospitals, places where they have real nuts.
She can't work full time. She can't stay overnight.
He'll have to settle for what he can get, just like the rest of us.
Well, it's the position and size, and the proportion of the elements of the bony structure of the skull are capable of measurement and therefore are valuable for the purpose of classification by advanced mathematical.
You'll just have to get out of here for a while and let me clean up this mess.
Wherever I go, it follows me.
What?
Oh, don't you hear it?
You mean Tom working down in the basement?
No. That other sound, that awful.
It's your nerves, Dr. Pratt. Why, in all the months I've been around here, you've hardly stirred yourself. You go down and stay with Tom. Go on. I've got to clean up in here.
Hi, Doc.
Hi, Tom.
How are you feeling today?
Fine, just fine. How's it going?
Going all right now. But just to get at that pipe, I had to dig down more than 6 feet.
6 feet?
But the new pipe is in. Joints are all sealed. Now I've got to fill in the trench and cement it over.
Oh, when are you going to do that?
As soon as I catch my breath. It's going on 5 already. I didn't realize it was that late.
Yeah. Why don't you knock off for today and come and have a drink with me while Sarah finishes clearing up my lab?
Wouldn't mind that at all. A nice cold beer would suit me just fine.
Oh, Tom, would you mind if I finish filling that in for you tonight?
Why, no, Doc.
You see, I need the exercise. Okay?
I wonder if Doc filled in that hole in the basement last night. Sarah! Sarah! Sarah!
Since we were unable to contact you, we proceeded with the formalities. His remains are in the family crypt. The Pritchett family, of course.
Boy, they sure went out fast. First the kid, then Helen, now Luke. All in 1 year.
That brings me to the business at hand. As the sole surviving member of both families, Mr. Pratt, you are the heir to the estate.
Hey, wait a minute. Is this on the level?
It's hardly a matter for joking.
Look, if you expect me to burst out crying because I inherited... How much did I inherit?
In addition to the house, property, and securities, there's $75,000 cash in bank accounts.
$75,000? Wow!
That's considerably less than Helen was worth when she married your brother. It'll take me a few days to draw up the documents for your signature.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be here.
No doubt. I kept on a part-time maid, Sarah, to look after the house till you got back. You can make your own arrangements with her for the future.
A maid, a house, $75,000 in the bank? How did this all happen to me?
As you yourself pointed out, the 3 other claimants to the estate all died within the past year. Good day, sir.
Yeah, good day.
Brought you some ice, Mr. Pratt.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Thought you might like to have a drink.
Thank you.
Dr. Pratt usually ate in here instead of in the dining room. Would you like to do the same?
Sure, fine.
I'll just set up the table for you here. And if there's nothing else, I'll be on my way.
Well, booze in the bar, dinner in the oven. What else do I need?
Hope you'll be happy here.
Are you kidding? With a house like this all to myself?
Maybe it's not for me to say, but there's something about this house.
Sarah, what are you getting at?
Didn't Mr. Jessup tell you?
No, tell me what.
About how your brother died.
That he had fallen and they found him in the basement.
My husband found him in the basement.
Oh.
His windpipe was snapped clean in two, like he'd been bitten by some wild animal.
Wild animal? Sarah, what kind of wild animals would they have around here?
None like that. Good night.
Good night. Well, here's to you, Luke. And you, Alden. And you too, Helen. as the light. Luke's research stuff. Oh. Ah. Go ahead. Scream your head off. You're not getting out of here.
Morning, Mr. Pratt.
Oh, good morning.
How are you today? Did you sleep well?
Well, it's a funny thing, but it's so quiet up here after New York, I couldn't get used to it. I kept dreaming about those wild animals.
What wild animals?
Sarah, do you hear a funny kind of noise?
Now, don't tell me you're going to start.
Start what?
Your brother. He was always hearing things.
What kind of things?
How would I know? I never heard them.
Don't you hear a sound right now?
I hear someone at the front door. Oh, I thought you was working over at the crypt.
Ran into a problem. Oh, Mr. Pratt. I'm Sarah's husband, Tom. Could you take a run over to the crypt with me for a few minutes?
You mean right now?
It's pretty important.
All right, I'll put some clothes on.
This is the Pritchett family crypt. With all the rain we had lately, part of the wall caved in. I had to pull those coffins out and put in that brace before I could fix the wall. One of them got all smashed in.
Well, why you show me all this?
I think you ought to look at that busted coffin.
What for?
You're the only one in the family left.
So what? Oh, you want me to pay for a new coffin? Okay.
I want you to look inside this one.
The head is missing.
The body in that coffin is Helen Pratt.
Thought you might want a fire tonight. More cheerful this kind of weather.
No, Sarah, you better leave before it starts raining. I have a lot of papers to go through.
If you're sure you don't need me, well then, see you in the morning. Good night.
Night. Sure, baby. I'm getting rid of you right now. Go! Hunk of lead. He killed her. Helen, listen to me. Helen, will you stop until you listen to me? Okay, Helen? Helen, leave me alone. Look, don't blame me for my brother's faults. Luke was weak. He was a weak kid who never grew up. I never meant to hurt you. Helen, I only told him the stories about the murders as a joke. I never thought he'd do it. Helen, leave me alone. I promise I'll leave this house forever. Okay, Helen? All right. All right. Now I'm going to make sure that you keep your mouth shut forever. And then I'm going to get rid of you. And I'm going to leave this house and never come back. Never! Scream. Go ahead, scream. Scream, scream, scream. Scream your head off! Out there with the other wild animals! Who is it?
I came by with Sarah because I wanted to talk to him about something that came up yesterday.
At first, from the look of it, I thought he'd gotten drunk and fell and cracked his head. But when I came closer, I saw it was the same horrible thing that happened to his brother. That's when Tom phoned you.
There's one thing.
Blood on it?
I started to say, there's one thing, Dr. Brown, that you ought to know about. I told him about it yesterday, figuring it was his responsibility. But now that he's dead, too, maybe we better go to the crypt. I'll explain it on the way over. What got me was, he really didn't seem surprised that the head was missing. It was like he knew it all along. I swear it wasn't there yesterday. I just don't understand it, do you? Do you, Dr. Brown?
I don't know. I'm not sure that I want to.